Before we start, remember to check out Oseno's channel. They won the 100 subscriber giveaway channel shoutout. Check out them, they make awesome music. Hey y'all, I'm Cybercoder and here's 5 things you must know before you start programming in 5 minutes or less. Let's start. Tip number 1. Have motivation to learn and don't give up. What I'm trying to say by that is that no language can be learned overnight. You need to have some kind of motivational source, whether that's that you can get a good job with programming knowledge, or you can learn it just to flex on your friends or whatever, as long as you have something that motivates you. That'll get you a long bit on the way to become a programmer. That also leads on to my second tip, which is that you need to do research before you actually start coding and see in what languages you can accomplish whatever you want to do. Because if you don't do that, you'll start going around in an endless evil circle of doom, where you keep switching to a new language, let's say every month. Just learn one language and get specialized in it. And when you feel like you know a bit more than just the basics, you can switch and try on a new language. But don't code in that language for too long, otherwise you'll end up like me, forgetting like 50% of all you knew in your previous language. Next tip, aka tip number 3. Don't be afraid to use Google. Now you guaranteed heard that before and thought, that can't be true. But yes, my friend, it is. Google will be your best friend through your entire coding career. I'm looking at you, Stack Overflow. But nah, in all seriousness, use Google and don't feel bad for using it. Even the best programmers out there use it. Tip number 4. Learn to think for the future, especially if you plan on making games. Now, thinking into the future is actually more important than you might think, because everything you do and code now will affect the future. For example, when you want to make an inventory system and you just get some ideas for it without any actual planning for it, they just pop out of your head. You start coding the system and you get a fair bit along, but then you think of like 5 more features you want, but then you already have an almost fully functional system with those initial ideas that you didn't really plan, they just popped out of your head from nowhere. And those 5 new features that you just thought of will get a lot harder to add now than what it would have been if you would have thought of them before you started coding. So planning ahead features and functionality are crucial elements to get both along faster with production and reduce the amount of headaches later trying to add them. Now for the final tip, or should I rather say recommendation. This might get a bit controversial, but 90% of the coding community will agree with me on this. And that is that PHP is a terrible coding language and you should stay away from it no matter what. If you follow the listed things, you'll get a long way with your coding career. Of course, there's a lot more and different things to be covered before you start, but those were some of the things that I wish I would have known before I started. As always, thanks for watching, like and subscribe for 10 years of good luck and possibly a cookie as well. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.